Relationship Synastry, Case Study, Richard and Susan, Virgo and Libra Rising. In this case study, we will explore the synastry between Richard, who has Virgo rising, and Susan, who has Libra rising. By analysing their Moon and Venus placements, we will gain insights into their emotional connection and romantic dynamics through the principles of Vedic astrology synastry. Richard's placements: rising sign, Virgo; Moon, 1st house, Virgo; Venus, 6th house, Aquarius. Susan's placements: rising sign, Libra; Moon, 11th house, Leo; Venus, 10th house, Cancer. Rising sign check. Richard has Virgo rising, and Susan has Libra rising, forming a 2-to-12 relationship between their rising signs. In Vedic astrology, the 2-12 relationship can indicate an imbalance, as one partner may feel overshadowed or emotionally overpowered by the other. Virgo rising individuals, like Richard, tend to be practical, detail-oriented, and focused on organization and service. He is analytical, cautious, and prefers stability and predictability. Libra rising individuals, like Susan, seek harmony, balance, and connection in relationships. Susan is diplomatic and values fairness, aesthetics, and beauty in all aspects of life. The 2-to-12 dynamic suggests that Susan may take on a more dominant role in shaping the relationship, while Richard could feel more supportive and focused on making the relationship work from behind the scenes. Susan's focus on balance and relationships may sometimes feel emotionally overwhelming to Richard, who prefers a more methodical and organized approach. Balancing these differences will require communication and understanding of each other's needs. Moon placement and emotional dynamics. Richard's moon, in the 1st house in Virgo, indicates a strong connection to his emotions, which are expressed through practicality and attention to detail. Richard is emotionally tied to his personal identity and values security through control, routine, and logical problem-solving. His emotional approach can sometimes be overly self-critical and focused on perfection. Susan's moon in the 11th house in Leo suggests that she seeks emotional fulfillment through social connections, friendships, and community involvement. She desires recognition and validation from her social circle and feels emotionally secure when she is admired and appreciated by others. Her emotions are bold and expressive, and she craves excitement and attention in her emotional world. Synastry analysis of Moon, 6-to-8 relationship. Richard's moon in Virgo and Susan's moon in Leo form a 6-to-8 relationship, which can introduce emotional tension. Richard's grounded, practical approach to emotions may clash with Susan's desire for emotional expression and social recognition. Susan may find Richard too focused on routines and details, while Richard may feel overwhelmed by Susan's need for attention and admiration. To make this dynamic work, both will need to appreciate each other's emotional needs, with Richard offering Susan the admiration she craves and Susan providing Richard with emotional stability. Venus placement and romantic dynamics. Richard's Venus in the 6th house in Aquarius indicates that he expresses love in unconventional, intellectual, and service-oriented ways. Richard values independence in his relationships and is likely to prioritize intellectual stimulation and shared ideals over traditional romantic gestures. In the 6th house, his Venus placement suggests that he expresses affection through acts of service or by helping his partner solve problems. Susan's Venus, in the 10th house in Cancer, reflects a nurturing and emotionally driven approach to love. She seeks stability and security in her relationships, and her love language often revolves around providing emotional care and support. In the 10th house, Susan's Venus suggests that her romantic life is closely tied to her career and public image, and she may seek a partner who shares similar goals and values. Synastry analysis of Venus, 6-to-8 relationship. Richard's Venus in Aquarius and Susan's Venus in Cancer also form a 6-to-8 relationship, which can be challenging. Richard's unconventional, intellectual approach to love may conflict with Susan's desire for emotional security and traditional expressions of affection. Richard may find Susan's romantic style too emotionally intense or dependent, while Susan may feel that Richard is detached or too focused on independence. Balancing these differing needs will require Richard to be more emotionally present, and Susan to embrace Richard's need for intellectual freedom and non-traditional expressions of love. Resulting dynamics of planetary placements. 1. Rising sign compatibility. The 2-12 relationship between Virgo and Libra rising signs may create an imbalance where Susan takes the lead in relationship dynamics. Richard may feel more supportive or behind the scenes, leading to potential emotional tension if his need for security and control isn't acknowledged. 2. Moon compatibility, 6-8 relationship. This 6-8 moon relationship between Richard's moon in Virgo and Susan's moon in Leo indicates emotional tension. Richard's practical, self-critical emotional nature contrasts with Susan's expressive and attention-seeking style. They will need to navigate these emotional differences to create harmony, with Richard offering stability and Susan embracing his grounded approach. 3. Venus compatibility, 6-8 relationship. The 6-8 Venus relationship between Richard's Venus in Aquarius and Susan's Venus in Cancer suggests romantic challenges. Richard's intellectual, non-traditional approach to love may clash with Susan's nurturing, emotionally driven romantic style. Understanding each other's love languages will be key to bridging this gap and finding balance in their romantic expression. 4. Romantic and emotional tensions. Both the Moon and Venus placements form 6-8 relationships, indicating significant areas of tension. The couple will need to work through their emotional and romantic differences by respecting each other's needs for independence, emotional security, and recognition. Overall relationship dynamic outcome. Richard and Susan's relationship presents both challenges and opportunities for growth. The chart 2-12 relationship between their rising signs suggests potential imbalance, where Susan may take on a more dominant role, while Richard supports from behind the scenes. The 6-8 Moon and Venus relationships highlight emotional and romantic differences that could lead to tension if not managed carefully. To make this relationship work, both Richard and Susan will need to openly communicate their emotional and romantic needs. Richard's grounded, practical approach must be balanced with Susan's desire for emotional expression and admiration. Similarly, Susan's nurturing, traditional style of love must be aligned with Richard's need for intellectual freedom and unconventional romantic expression. By embracing their differences and finding common ground, they can create a fulfilling and dynamic relationship.